Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Over to Madrid, we have a RivalWatch. The UEFA Champions League match day one of the opening for Real Madrid. We have Real Madrid hosting Marseille, Olympique Marseille at the Santiago Bernabeu, with a scoreline ending 2-1. So let's talk about it. So to start with, we start with both teams starting 11, with Real Madrid starting with Courtois, and then on the right is Trent, and on the left is Alvaro Carreras, with the same partnership with Militao and Dinhuisen. And then we have holding with Chouameni and Valverde and Adeguler at the 10. And then Masantuono back in the starting lineup on the right hand side. And on the left, instead of Vini, we see Rodrigo starting. And then Kylian Mbappe, obviously, at the top, 9 position. And with Marseille, they have a formation of the same way, 4-2-3-1. And they're playing at right back Benjamin Pavard. On the left is Emerson from West Ham, you know. And then after that, in the both center half are Medina and Balerdi, the captain, while goalkeeper is Jerome Morulli, former, I think he was Real Sociedad as well, and also Villarreal, I think, La Liga. And then the two holding is Kondogbia and Hoybia. And then after that, at the 10, O'Reilly, while on the right hand side, we have Mason Greenwood. On the left hand side, we have Timothy Weah, and also the striker is Aubameyang. So this game was exhilarating in the first 10 minutes, especially because of Marseille's manager, De Zerbi. He is a manager who his preference in play style is playing from the back, meaning from the goalkeeper. Risky play, but also high reward. But the issue with it is you got to know your team. You got to know your players if they can actually do that or not, right? You can't force a certain style on some players that can't do that, right? And as you can see it here that they are trying to do it, but they've made so many mistakes in the first 10 minutes that they've given so many chances to Real Madrid, especially Jordan Morulli, right? He looks very sluggish on the ball. He can play on the ball, does not mean he's good at it, right? And the first in the first 22nd minute, we already had a chance with a counter, and then after that, because of a mistake from the defense, and then after that, Mbappe had a overhead kick, but straight at the keeper, and then after that, but sadly, Trent, after 5 minutes, he got a muscle injury early on, and he couldn't continue. And right after that fifth minute, they had to sub off Trent for Carvajal in. And then right after that, Madrid continues with their intense pressure and in the first 5 minutes, very quick, fast-paced football. Just non-stop pressure at home, obviously, right? First Champions League and everything. And then they also Mastantuono also had a chance that hits the near post from the right-hand side. Rodrigo as well after another mistake. Majority, if not all of these mistakes, all because of Chouameni non-stop getting the ball ahead of time and intercepting the passing lane before they go, usually to either to Kondogbia or O'Reilly. And one of the mistakes, Rodrigo got the ball in front of the box, and then he strikes straight at the Jordan Morulli. And then right after that, also multiple chances happens. But then right after that, after 10 minutes mark, the game already subsided a little bit. Both Marseille trying to control the match with their passing plays and everything, while Madrid finding pockets here and there to try to stab through them, right? The defense. And then, but in the 22nd minute, Marseille had the lead with a goal by Timothy Weah. It all starts with Dinhuisen having the ball and driving it forward into the halfway line. As he goes to the halfway line, he passes the ball to Adeguler, but he continues his run, expecting a pass afterwards. But then, because Guler wasn't paying attention to his surroundings, he didn't see that behind him, Mason Greenwood pickpocketed him and then got the ball through, and it became a 2v1 counter attack. With only Militao holding off Mason Green, who had the ball, and Timothy on the left hand side, getting closer to the middle side, right? as that happened, Timothée goes in behind Mason Greenwood, and then after that, Mason Greenwood passes the ball through to him, and it was a hard battle for Militao. He could do nothing about it, and it was a 1v1 between Timothée and Courtois, and then he shot near post, and it's a good finish for him. So Marseille takes the lead after 22nd minute. And then in the 25th minute, Timothée also get a shot from afar, also from a counter that has been pickpocketed as well by Mason Greenwood, but this one is low and straight at the keeper. But from the goal at the 22nd minute, 5 minutes later, Madrid has in the 27th minute, Madrid has a penalty. With Rodrigo dribbling from the left-hand side, cuts into the middle, but Kondogbia failed to anticipate it quickly enough to get his foot out to try to get the ball, but then because Rodrigo was faster, the ball went past Kondogbia, but then the player didn't, so he fouled the ball, and it was a clear penalty. And then Mbappe obviously scores the goal in the bottom left corner. Then there was this play in the 30th minute that made me impressed with Masantuono, and I see a big improvement in his understanding with the first team. Right, there was a ball. This guy basically has a roaming for position like a Messi, basically. Yeah? He's been given freedom to go wherever he wants, be it on the left, on the right, in the central. Central goes deep as well. There was a ball that he was on the in Madrid's half. He gives it to Carvalho. Carvalho passes that to him, right? He runs forward with the ball, passes it to I think Mbappe or Arda Güler, and whoever that is passes it to Rodrigo on the left hand side near the box, right? It was a very speedy counter. And then speedy build up, and then after that, Rodrigo passed the ball back to Master, who's at the edge of the box, and then he passes it to Mbappe, who's at the D. Mbappe passes it back again to the edge of the box to Master while he's moving in, and he nutmegs a player and almost scores a goal. But Geronimo Rulli was quick to go up to him, and but then Mastantuono in the 40th minute, the last chance of the half, there was a chance where Mbappe was dribbling past two players in the edge of the box on the left hand side, and as he sees Mastantuono was free on the other side, he passed the ball through to him, and Mastantuono instead of just blasting into the goal, he was being naive and just passing it slowly into the box, and then because of that, there was lack of power and also lack of aim because he was doing it straight at the goal, and Geronimo saved it easily. Right, it was a mistake for him. But after that, halftime ended with the first half ended with 1-1 scoreline for both sides, and then at halftime, early on, after halftime, Balerdi, the centre back for Marseille, the captain, he made so many challenges that was good for them, blocking the attack. He's winning every 1v1 that I've seen. And then there was also a moment where Mbappe was in on goal and he was about to shoot. As he was shooting, Balerdi also tries to tackle the ball. But as he was tackling the ball, he stepped on the ball and then his foot goes up into Mbappe's ankle and then basically studs to the ankle, right? And Mbappe fell down, but referee didn't give anything. And VR checked thoroughly, but then VR, after about 2 minutes of checking, while game is going, the VR concludes that there was no foul because Balerdi got the ball first, and his foot just rolled over the ball because of the ball's movement, right? So there was no penalty there, obviously, clearly. And then, but obviously that does not take away from the fact that Mbappe was hurt, right? But he got back up after a small treatment, and then game continued on. From there was also a chance from Tchouaméni from long shot from outside the box, tipped off the bar by Rulli. And then in the 39th minute, Aubameyang, he had a chance on goal, basically in the exact same position where Timothée was scored, right? 1v1 with the keeper Courtois, but instead of going for a far post or near post, he tried to go for near post, but he misses it completely. It was so far wide. It was uncalled for. That kind of what Aubameyang is good for, but he didn't. So he misses that to go to take Marseille to 1 goal lead again. But then, from there on, um, Madrid making some changes for Vinny. Vinny in for Rodrigo, and then after that, Brahim Diaz for Mustantuono. And then also O'Reilly was replaced by Pachao for Marseille. And the 71 minute, 20 minutes left for the game, there was this occasion where Madrid was playing, was having a corner, right? As he was having a corner, Giroud was holding on to Carvajal. I'm assuming telling players to mark him. Carvajal slaps his hand away. As he slaps his hand away, Giroud really didn't like it. And what happened is they go face to face, and then Carvajal headbutt him, right? He really falls on the ground. Things happen. They was just pushing it here and there. VR checked, and then as it turns out, the replay says looks yes, he did headbutt him, and referee was called into the screen to check. And then after that, you can tell from Carvajal, he looked like he regretted that decision. He regretted it, and then referee had no choice but to give him the red card. The thing is, in my opinion, that is the most childish and stupid record that he could ever got. The action itself is not very mature from him, for someone who's very much experienced like him, right? Who's a veteran like him. He's a captain as well, a substitute as well. Came on. Madrid had a chance to attack right now with the corner right now currently. And then you cause a commotion like that with 20 minutes left into the game, with the scoreline is 1-1, and then you do the red card to I guess, to have a possibility of getting a 10-man down for Madrid right at home in the first game of Champions League. It's very immature from him, and due to that, he got a red card. He's out of the game, and then Madrid had to bring on Asensio on for Adeguler so that Madrid can play right back, and Asensio was put there as a makeshift right back. Then after that, Madrid have a formation of 4-3-2 with Mbappe and then Vini at the top, with Tchouaméni, Valverde, and also Brahim in the midfield, right? And sometimes 4-4-1 with Vini dropping back to the midfield as well. And then, but right after that, Madrid had a penalty in the 78th minute. And this is basically the last thing, because after this penalty, Madrid got this penalty, and they scored when they scored this penalty with Mbappe, bottom left corner. The game is basically just making sure that Marseille doesn't come back from it, right? The issue is the controversy with this penalty, right? It's a winning goal penalty for Madrid again. But the issue is the fact that in my opinion, it's not a penalty. A lot of people do think so as well. Even Madrid fans are saying that it's not something that is not shouldn't be a penalty, due to the fact that the moment happened where Vini got the ball and went into the box as he was, I think, shooting the other centre back Medina. He tried to block the ball. As he slid in to block the ball, he got the block cleanly as well, but the ball bounced down and then bounced up from the ground up to his hand. And referee, without a hesitation, whistled for a penalty. After VR check, VR also said it was a penalty. Here's the issue, right? It's still confusing because offside rule is there's two rules in football that's always confusing, and that is the offside rule and also the handball that's always having issues with, right? Offside rule now, it's obviously easier now with VR. Just basically, you have this any part of you that can be used to score a goal. In behind the goal, the defender, offside, right? But now the issue comes where the handball rule is still vague and based on opinion instead of based on like facts, for example, right? Two main rules that consist for handball to be called is, number one, if the hand is in natural position, right? And and number two, if the player is making the ball, the player is making himself, his hand is in a natural position, or number two, or if the player is making himself bigger to have a bigger chance to block the ball, right? And in this situation, the Medina, he was blocking the ball, right? So as he was sliding in, his hand would be up here because he's falling that way. So his hand is up here. As he blocks the ball goes back and then it hits his hand who's up here, right? You will never see a player who slides in and he did this, for example, or sliding while doing this, right? Or sliding while doing this only, hand by side. No one does that. It makes sense for you to do this because you need something to break your fall so that you don't hit your back while sliding, you don't hit your butt as hard, or you also don't hit the back of the head when you're falling, right? So this is a supporting movement, and that is natural position where your hand's supposed to be. Is the same as the ruling of like when you're trying to like run, and imagine someone's got a handball and while they're doing this, you expect a player to run like this? You expect a player to run like this? No, right? Number two, did he make himself bigger so that he can have a higher chance to score a goal? No, the goal was right there. Vin is right here. The defender is blocking through there with his foot. His hand is behind. He's not trying to do that, obviously. So I don't understand how the referee can call that. You can maybe give him the benefit of that. Oh, it hit his hand, right? That VR check to confirm. But we are still seeing that and still think that it's penalty. It's not a clear, obvious error, apparently. So yeah, that should never be a penalty, and the game Madrid shouldn't have gotten 2 points off of that, the 3 points off of that. So that's the main thing that I can conclude with the match, with again Madrid winning controversially, and to end it all, my man of the match for the game will be Tchouaméni with his performance. Bossing the midfield basically when it comes to blocking the path of each passes, that dangerous passes specifically as well, even if he got a yellow card for it, right? The other player in Marseille the best player would be Balerdi, their captain and centre back, who's always, I think to my knowledge, has won every single 1v1s. And then my takeaway from it is Mastantuono is very exciting to watch, to see his growth right now, because in just 2 games you can see so much improvement in like how he handles himself around the team, right? And he's been given the freedom to do what he wants, right? And then secondly is the way Madrid plays right now. They're playing good football. They're playing at least not boring football, enjoyable football, right? Very dynamic. Everyone keeps moving. Again, like I said from the few other reviews, they're not stagnant anymore as previous season with Ancelotti. And then that next match for Real Madrid is in 3 days' time again in La Liga against Mallorca at home at the Santiago Bernabeu. Their last 3 matches was actually the last match was actually a loss, but then it was a loss. But before that, it was 2 wins, right? The loss, all 3 came in La Liga. That loss was away at Espanyol with a 1-0 loss. But the 2 previous one is a 4-1 win and 3-1 win, both at the Santiago Bernabeu. So other than that, there's not much to say. If there's anything else, yeah, that's my own review. Barcelona will be playing tonight. I mean tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. I'll be waiting for Thursday. On Thursday, Barcelona will be playing, so then I'll let you know my review about it, right? Other than that, if you enjoy the video or my review, leave a like, maybe subscribe. And other than that, if you got any thoughts that you want to share, I'll see you in the comments. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.